The Albert Hall for me is the ultimate performance venue. I've been singing here since I was 12. I'm now 43. I remember just thinking how amazing this hall was.
When you think of all the stars who performed there over the years, I mean, Eric Clapton did his season there, Paul McCartney, Shirley Bassey, Elton John, legends, all of them. Aled Jones.
I think I probably performed here well over 100 times in my life, you know, and I'm never blasé about it. I'm never thinking to myself, oh, it's the Albert Hall, whatever. You always think, it's the Albert Hall.
And Michael Ball described the Albert Hall in a very clever way. He said, it's like being in a big cuddle. And he's absolutely right.
I'm backstage to meet a star guest who's used to performing in international venues like this one, and she is no stranger to the big sing. Catherine, we love having you here on The Big Sing.
Thank you.
What is it that makes you keep coming back?
It's just always such a wonderful, sort of happy celebration. And so it's really special to be on the stage with everybody's voices together, everybody singing together. I feel like everybody wants to share their voices and be the best that they can. And it's just always nice to return and see friends again.
Yeah, you've been singing from a young age. What does it feel like when you walk out onto the stage? Do you still feel that sense of excitement, or is it just another day at the office?
No, I still love and I still live for the performance part of it. I'm probably more excited about being on stage now than I was when I started when I was 4. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So as you're about to go on stage, apart from vocally warming up, how do you prepare to go on stage?
I've got a few little rituals.
What are they?
Little silly things.
Go on, share them.
Like, you know, I've got to put my right shoe on before my left, and I have to eat at a certain time, and then just before I go on stage, I say a little prayer to God and to my dad, and ask them to bless me in my performance. And say the same thing every time, and I have to say that before I go out.
So where is God amongst the show business for you?
Well, you know, a lot of my singing, the whole reason that I went into classical music was because my voice was being trained as a chorister for 10 years back in Wales. And I feel that that's really my roots. You know, church singing is something that comes so naturally and just makes me really, really happy. And I think that I'll always have that with me. I think that I will always enjoy to sing hymns wherever I am in the world, to sort of share that with people. And I think in a personal sense, it's sort of a faith thing that I can take with me wherever I am. And I, you know, if I'm having a tough time on tour, you know, you can always find a church to go to and just sit and have a moment. And I find that to be really helpful.
Tell us about a memorable past Big Sing performance.
I performed here once, May the Good Lord Bless You and Keep You, which is a song I used to sing as a chorister back in St. David's Church. So it's nice to now be doing this in such a beautiful venue with such a fantastic audience. That was very, very special.
May the good Lord bless and keep you, whether near or far away. May you find that long-awaited golden day today. May your troubles all be small ones, and your fortunes 10 times 10. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again.
As well as established stars, the Big Sing has given a platform to younger singers who are more than ready to entertain the audience.
Guide me, O thou great Redeemer, pilgrim through this barren land.
A
course, the Songs of Praise School Choir of the Year competition plays an important part of the Big Sing because on many occasions we have both the senior and the junior school choir winners with us, which is always great fun, particularly when you see the little children and you see their faces when they're standing on this stage in this huge hall.
I've even managed to sing Walking in the Air. It almost felt that I'd come full circle somehow. So the boy had finally become the man.
I'm abiding the midnight abiding the midnight.
More recently, the Songs of Praise Gospel Choir of the Year has had the opportunity to perform at the Big Sing. This year's winners were Lewis Sings Gospel, led by conductor Karen Gibson. You're the new stars of the show. How big an occasion is this for the choir?
Oh, so big. It's huge. We're very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited. This is the Royal Albert Hall, and apart from the competition, we haven't performed outside of South Dover Church. So to be at such a historical, place with so much legacy is just huge for the choir.
Yeah, more than 5,000 people there. No pressure
Oh, really?
at all, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is that you know that?
Now I'm nervous. This is Anna Jones, everybody.
You're my favourite choir in this corridor today.
Thanks for that.
How do you prepare a group of amateur singers to perform on the same stage as a star like Catherine Jenkins?
I don't really focus so much on the stars and saying we're going to be sing with this, although that's amazing and we love that, but it's really about what they have to offer, because everybody has something to offer, and I think that's really important in a community non-audition choir, that everybody realises that they themselves have something to bring to the table.
And here we are, pinnacle of choir success, I think, possibly, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of today.
Well, I never ever thought that the choir at the Lewis Gospel Choir would ever be asked to sing somewhere here, so it really is quite something special.
Beyond the performance, is there still room within what you're doing to think about this as praise and praising God?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. For me, it's never about the music. It really is not about the music, although I love a good sound. It's really about the words. It's about the connection. It's about building their esteem and also giving them an understanding of God, yes, but also his love for them and what is available to them. I really do want you to think of the words, and that spirit of the song, that's what I want to be communicated.
We'll be able to see how their debut goes next week when they'll be supported by the Big Sing Orchestra. Many of these musicians are drawn from world-renowned ensembles like the Royal Opera House and the London Symphony Orchestra.
I think for me one of the most impressive things is just the sheer musicianship. These are wonderful musicians, and it's a privilege actually to be part of it.
We are a freelance group. We are not the Songs of Praise Orchestra, except that the same people come back year after year because they like being in it, and we're invited to be in it. And so, of course, we do have a feeling of family and being a part of this show.
I think they really enjoy this because it's such an uplifting experience, whereas, yes, if you're playing a Tchaikovsky, or yes, if you're playing a Rachmaninoff or a Brahms or whatever, a Haydn, it is uplifting, but in a different way. Here they're experiencing the Royal Albert Hall like never before. When 5,000 people here sing How Great Thou Art or Love Divine or something like that, has such an impact even on the die-hard musician who thinks he's seen and heard it all before.
What I really like about it is the fact that everybody in my local pub sees me on the television, and then they believe that I really do this for a living. Otherwise, you know, they don't really believe me. They don't think you can make a living banging things, you know, like I do.
There's such a high standard of musicianship here at the Big Sing, with players who can turn their hand to a broad repertoire. Over the years, the orchestra has played it all, from opera to pop and from classical to gospel. Darkness appears and the night draws near and the day is past and gone. And the river stands at my feet. Hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. Hey, precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am weak, I am through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. Hymns are a great way to express faith, and our favourites often make it onto the Big Sing. In 2005 and again in 2013, viewers voted for the nation's #1.
And if we told you that the nation's favourite hymn was a 20th century creation based on a Swedish poem sung to a Swedish folk tune, you'd think I was mad, wouldn't you?
It's been translated into Welsh, Chinese, Japanese, Polish, Romanian, Spanish, Vietnamese, even Maori. Such is its international appeal.